In this week's video, I'm going to be showing you guys everything you need to know about level 2 market data. I'll be showing you guys how to read it so you can use it to your advantage, and I'll even go over a live example that I recorded during market hours just to show you guys how to use it when the time comes. All that in this week's video. I'll see you there. So to start off, what is the level 2? The level 2 is pretty much an order book for any given stock. The order book pretty much shows a list of who's buying and who's selling the stock. And it gives more of an in-depth insight if the stock is more bearish or bullish. So up on the screen here, I have the order book for AMC, and you can see that there's multiple different numbers here and it could get a little confusing. So I'm going to explain what each of these rows of numbers mean as easily I can so that you can fully understand it. So what we got up here are the different bids and asks of all the different traders who want to get into the stock. So on the left side here, you can see the bid right here. And the bid pretty much is the price that buyers are willing to buy the stock at. So here you can see there's traders that want to buy the stock at 1330, 1329, 1328, 1327, and so on. These are the different prices that traders are willing to buy at. So for this stock, there's a relatively high amount of traders that want to get into the stock because you can see that the difference between these stocks are not that much. These are 1 penny apart, so that's how you know that the spread is tight and more people want to get into this. On a thinner stock, you would see a wider spread. Pretty much what I mean is you'll see someone have an order at 13, the next order might be at $12, and the next one might be at 9. You'll see a big gap in between these numbers on a low volume stock with high spread, and we usually want to avoid those. But in this case, for AMC, it's a high volume stock, so the numbers will be relatively tighter compared to a normal stock. And on the right side, you can see this is the ask for what traders are willing to sell their shares at. And generally, the ask is going to be higher than the bid. For this one, you can see there's sellers at 1332, 1333, and they're higher than all the bids over here. For the ask, people want to be selling their shares above the price. So people want to sell it at 1332, 14, 15. They want to sell it above the market price. For the bid, people want to buy it below the market price. People want to get a better deal on their shares when they're trying to buy in. People want to buy it at $13, $12, or $11. They don't want to buy their shares at $15 if the stock is at 13. And vice versa, for the people who are selling the shares on the ask side, they want to sell their shares for $13 or $14, $15 so then they can make the most money out of their stock when they're selling. The main points for the bid and the ask are the bid is where traders are buying shares, and you'll see the orders at what levels traders want to buy their shares at. For the ask side, these are the guys who want to sell their shares, and you'll see the levels that they want to sell at above the market price. So bids are traders trying to get in below the market price. The ask is people trying to sell above the market price. Here on the sides, you'll see that there is a shares section where this one shows the column of the number of shares that traders are trying to sell at that given price. On the ask side, you can see that there's somebody trying to sell 100 shares at 1332, another 100 at 1333, and if you keep going down, you'll see this particularly large order. Someone's trying to sell 13,000 shares at 1337. This is a big order, and I'll explain later on how you can use these different share sizes to sort of predict what's going to happen next with the stock. The main thing I want you to get out of this column is that these are the number of shares that people are trying to sell their stock at. And it's the opposite for the bid side. This is the number of shares that people are trying to buy in with. Someone over here is trying to buy 224 shares at 1330. This guy down here is trying to buy 2 shares at 1323. And someone down here is trying to buy 1700 shares at 1321. So this column is just the number of shares that people are trying to buy in. The column on the ask side is the number of shares that people are trying to sell at a given price. So now how can you use this information to your advantage? One way you can look at this is by looking at where the biggest orders are on the level 2. Typically, the biggest orders are going to be where the big money is at, right? The smart traders, the big money traders, the whales, hedge funds, banks, etc. In this case, you can see that the big order here is a sell wall at 1337. You can see someone's trying to get out with 13,000 shares here, and you don't see anywhere else on this level 2 with an order as big as this one. You can think there's going to be a lot more selling pressure in this stock since more of those shares are on the ask side. These are the people that want to get out of the stock. That means there's more of a bearish sentiment and the price is likely to come down later on because more people want to get out at this price range. Most of the time you'll see these bigger sell orders when the stock is starting to hit resistance. When people are trying to sell, there's usually not enough buyers willing to buy up this price to make the stock break out. So what tends to happen is the stock starts to fall down in price since these bigger sellers are trying to get out at a good area while the price is still high and it's in their favor. So all that selling pressure turns the stock back down to a downtrend and the price falls down afterwards. Let me give you an example of a big order on the bid side. Now what I got up on the screen here is the level 2 for SPCE, and in this example you can see that there's a lot more buyers on the bid side. There's not many people selling on the ask, and you can see there's a big buyer down here at the $46 level. Someone's trying to buy in with 5,000 shares, and you don't see anyone else with that amount of share size on the level 2. In this example, this one's a lot more bullish than the previous one we shown because a big buyer is trying to get in near the market price. And you can see that this is at a whole number as well. We explained in the previous video on how to set your stop losses that a lot of big buyers tend to come in at these whole number areas. And that's just because whole numbers are a lot more easier to memorize. It's a lot more easier to say off your tongue. Bigger traders just don't want to be saying all these extra words like $40.02 or $46.22. They want to just say, I'm buying 5,000 shares at $46, and they'll just put their order at that level. In this case, the stock is usually coming down and creating a support, and you'll see one of these big orders pop up when it's at a support level. This pretty much means that the buyers are now holding up the price. That means there's not enough people selling anymore. There's a lot more buyers coming into the market. The $46 order is down here. There's not enough people to sell the stock to make the price break down. So what happens instead is the big buyers step in and they buy up the stock, causing it to bounce and make it go back in its uptrend. So that's how you can read the level 2 on the bid side. Just keep the level 2 in mind since it shows you where the buyers and sellers are in the market the next time you try to buy a stock. So now let's hop over to the live example I recorded so you can see how to use it in real time. Now the layout's going to be a little bit different on my screen since I did record it on my computer, but you can see that my level 2 data will be down here in this corner, and it's pretty much formatted the same way as I just showed you in the previous example. It'll usually be formatted the same way across all brokers. Just mainly focus on this section down here when I go over the live example. Just wanted to do a quick recording on level 2. This is live right now, and you can see that the stock is having trouble breaking this 47-cent area because you can see that this order, there's a massive wall at 47 cents, 47.8, 60,000 shares. It's having trouble breaking that level, and you can see that the stock is creating a lot of upper wicks at this daily resistance level as well. You can see on the daily chart there was a rejection back here, so there's going to be a lot of sellers when the stock is up 130% plus. This was a play that we alerted to our members at 20 cents, and we're up over 150% on this play so far. And yeah, I just wanted to give that example for this level 2. Once you see a big wall like here, you can see that this is a big sell wall. There's going to be a lot of sellers and rejection at this price up here. And this could be a sign to start scaling out. If the stock has trouble breaking the wall and it starts breaking down, that's when you should start scaling out and start taking your profits. Now giving an update on CRKN. Remember when the stock was up here, I was mentioning that big sell wall that was back here at 47.8, right? It perfectly gets rejected up there. There weren't enough buyers to push the price up. The big seller comes in and takes out all the buyers over that sell order, and look what happened. Downtrend, downtrend, downtrend. And I even said to start taking your profits when it starts reaching this point up here.
If the stock has trouble breaking the wall and it starts breaking down, that's when you should start scaling out and start taking your profits.
You can see that there's a lot of these upper wicks, a lot of rejection up here. So this would have been a good area to scale out, and you would have saved yourself from this big downtrend afterwards. Alright, I hope this video on level 2 helped and you were able to understand how the level 2 provides a more in-depth view into the market. If you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next video. I wish you guys good luck in trading, and I'll see you in the next one.